his whole thing is like the purple cow concept is people don't expect it. It stands out because it's unexpected. And with unreasonable hospitality, it's the same thing.
Well, we have a very special guest today, Daniel.
We do.
His name is Nick Runyon. Welcome to Seth Said What? Nick Runyon.
So what? Give us your
Thank
best.
you.
Seth said what?
Longtime listener. I've been with you from the beginning.
Yes. You've actually gotten a couple of shout outs. But before we move on, you have to do what Daniel asked you to do, which is Seth Said What?
Seth said, what?
There it is.
Nice.
Maybe that'll be our new guest, intro.
Yeah. But yeah, we've talked about you a couple times on the Seth Said What podcast. And so today we're doing something kind of unique. So I wanted to tell everybody what this is. If you're listening to Seth Said What, then this will probably kind of feel like a normal episode. But what we're going to do at the end of recording Seth Said What today with Nick, we are then going to go right into his podcast, which is the Digital Ministry Podcast. And we're going to walk through kind of behind the scenes of how we then put Seth Said What out into the world every day. And so, yeah, it'll be kind of like a
got it all figured out.
Yeah.
Well, I love this idea. You guys pitched me this and I was like, that's genius. Because so many people are like, oh, how do you start a podcast? It's like, it's not hard. You just have to sit down and like do the thing. So you guys are opening up the curtain for everybody. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Behind the veil.
Behind the veil. It's a very messy, raw, unproduced, quick and dirty veil. That kind of sounds gross, but here we are.
Here we are.
All right. So
I stayed in that hotel once, I think.
It's in Alabama somewhere.
Malaysia. I checked in. I was on a motorcycle trip. I checked into this hotel with shout out Bryce Runyon. And it was like $15 a night. I'm sure multiple people have been murdered in that room, but it had 100 gigabyte or what. It was the fastest internet I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Hey, shout out
Dirty
to
Veils.
The Dirty Veils in Malaysia.
Dirty Veils is a great band name, by the way.
Love it is. Well, actually, before we read Says What, Nick, why don't you introduce yourself? Just like because you are a man that wears many hats. So introduce yourself and the hats that you want to tell the world about on Seth Said What today.
Thanks for you guys are good friends. I'm glad we're doing this. It's fun. I don't know. I do a lot of stuff. I've been in marketing. I think marketing is the thread that you can pull through all of this stuff. So I've been executive director of nonprofits, dealing with like digital evangelism, a lot of the software development around those things, so everything from like predictive analytics and spiritual conversations to, managing conversations with volunteer response teams. I've been the CMO for a software company. I led a turnaround as CEO for that company, and which was successful. Like a big shout out to my team. They just sold. So we had Goldman Sachs as an investor, and they sold 2 weeks ago. So I'm glad that
nice. Congrats, yeah.
I had a little part of carrying the water along that long trail. So that was fun.
You did.
I've done some other startups. We've got a company right now that's trying to revolutionize some hardware industries with spaces like energy and aerospace. And we just won a NASA contract last week. So that's big.
Oh my gosh.
But then really, yeah, thanks. And then in this capacity, my really passion is around like digital marketing, using these tools, understanding what's kind of coming out on the front edge and how it can be applied for digital ministries, which is what the Digital Ministry Podcast is all about. So you guys kind of opening up your process is such a gift because my intention is to just educate, and kind of share best practices and ideas. And the three of us have done that a lot through the years through Media Impact International, which is the producer of the Digital Ministry Podcast. So thanks. Happy to be here.
Yeah. I first met Nick Runyon in the country of Jordan. Did you meet Nick there too, Daniel? Or did you know him before that?
No, I think that was it. Yeah.
And that was, well, how old is Grace, Nick?
She just turned 11.
So I'm pretty sure that was like 11 years ago. That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I can't remember. She was either just born or she was about to be born. I can't remember. But anyway, a long time ago.
I think about to be. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
My
Okay.
favorite part was Daniel's face when we checked into the hotel and there was water coming down on the reception desk because it was raining outside. And I was like, you guys got a little leak. And they're like, yeah, the reconstruction didn't go quite well. And I said, well, what, you did like a remodel? They're like, no, we had a car bomb blow up in the front. And Daniel's
Mm.
face was like, where are we?
And the hotel was
That's
called the Dirty Veil.
that's
Hey.
right.
Oh man. Well, and we have quite the variety of listeners, which has been really fun about Seth Said What. We have family members that listen. Shout out Aunt Jane and Granddude. And we also have friends that are across all different industries, some that are in the faith-based world, some that are not at all. And this is a welcome and safe place for wherever you find yourself in that journey. So let's go ahead and read Seth's blog today. Daniel, do you want to read it or do you want me to read it?
I'm ready. I've got it pulled up.
Okay, let's do it.
Mostly unreasonable. It's tempting to go to an extreme. Unreasonable design standards, quality, or hospitality are an effective way to gain share, delight customers, and spread the word. To be unreasonable in service of your customer is a practice and a commitment. Along the way, though, reality sets in. The boss has multiple priorities. The uncompromising edges of unreasonable are truly expensive. They take time and effort and money, and they're unreasonable. And so, we pull back a bit. We go much of the way, but not quite to ridiculous. The thing is, rational, compromised, unreason has a name. It's called normal. If you want the benefits that come from being unreasonable on behalf of your customers, you're going to have to pay the price as well. Unreasonable works precisely because most people aren't driven to go all the way there.
Okay, so my first question is, have you guys read Unreasonable Hospitality, the book?
Will Guidara.
Yeah, I don't have it. I must have it at home. It's not here on my shelf. Have you read it?
Yeah. I
I've
met Will.
Of course you did, Nick.
Of
Tell us the
course.
story.
Well, I interrupted a Zoom call that he was on. I kind of bear hugged my buddy. He runs a company here in Montana. And he was doing his staff training, and I came in and I kind of like wrapped my arms around him and tackled him. And he was on a Zoom call, which I didn't realize, with Will.
Oh
And
my God.
That's funny.
then I kind of gushed as a super fan. But
Yeah.
tell your listeners about this book. It's crazy.
Well, in typical Holly Tate fashion, I'm like, have you read this book? It's so good. And then I'm like, wait a second. I never finished that book because I'm terrible. I am great at starting books and terrible at finishing them. But it is fantastic. He was really kind of the brains behind, and of course, what's the restaurant's name, Nick, in New York City?
One Madison Place, I think.
Yes. That is, really has set the precedent for what hospitality in the food industry looks like. And the book is all about it. And it's just so, first of all, it's written so well. It's jam-packed full of advice and just helping you rethink, regardless of what type of business you're in or organization you lead, that you can take hospitality practices and apply it there. So anyway, I feel like this is like very well in tune with that book that Seth is saying today.
11
So,
Madison Park. I was
11
close.
Madison Park. Thank you. Oh,
I knew it out of one.
that was good. I would have not even gotten close to that. Yeah. So anyway, highly recommend that. But yeah, what stuck out to you, Daniel and Nick, as you heard these Seth thoughts today?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like, so Nick, I've been trying to pull out these threads across multiple blogs, and I feel like what I'm picking up from this, like maybe batch of writing or a pattern recognition here moment, is this standing out, the standing out from the crowd. And how do you do that? And this being unreasonable, being the thing that sets you apart from all the reasonable approaches, whether it's in a customer service way or just a thing that's excellent, like a product that's excellent. So just and a shout out to Purple Cow, Seth, like the Purple Cow concept is just that you look at this giant field of cows that are all brown, or if they're Holsteins, trying to throw some cow knowledge to my Montana friend here, like the black and white, but you see the purples and it stands out. And I don't know that that's the apples to apples here, because like, is that unreasonably better, or is it just a quality that's like, oh, boom, my eye's drawn there. That's different. I acknowledge that. I don't know, just some thoughts to continue the riff.
No, I think you're on the right track. And I think we're all like Seth Godin super fans here.
Mhm.
And what I love about the blog today is he says most people don't commit to go all the way. And that book, Purple Cow, I mean, I read that early in my career. And I don't mean to name drop, but I got to meet Seth once too. Like I was such a fan. Like I took my marketing team at this company that he was speaking in Colorado. So I flew everybody down there. We went through like one day with him and got to say hello and ask a bunch of questions to Seth, which was just incredibly valuable. But his whole thing is like the purple cow concept is people don't expect it. It stands out because it's unexpected. And with unreasonable hospitality, it's the same thing. One of the things I love as an anecdote that Will shares in his book is, it's this fine dining establishment. They've got multiple Michelin stars. Like this is like the hot ticket in New York that everybody wants to get. So naturally it becomes a place for celebration dinners, like engagement dinners were happening a lot. And they saw this and, normally it would be common to offer the newly engaged couple, a free bottle of champagne, like nice champagne. They went a step further. They went to Tiffany's and they bought like champagne flutes. And then, they give the free champagne and bring the glasses out. And then as they're bussing the table, the bill's coming, and all that stuff, they go back, they wash the flutes, they put them back in the Tiffany box, and then they give it to the couple as a keepsake to remember this engagement moment. That's where you go from common to uncommon.
Yes.
It's totally unexpected. And as a line item on the business, it's, marginal. But they were willing to kind of invest in those types of experiences. And the book is full of all kinds of examples of that. And I think it's just a great example of making that commitment to go all the way.
And that there's a price, like Seth says here, you're going to have to pay the price as well. Like there's a real cost, not only financially, but in training your staff and, the Tiffany glasses, but then also probably paying more to the people who are motivated to think that way. It does come with a price if you are willing to go all the way there. And I can't compete with Nick and all the famous people he's met, but here is a photo. If you're watching this today, I got to meet Seth too. This is one of
There you go.
2 times that I got to meet him. Actually, I think I've technically gotten to meet him 3 times, actually. Seth 3 times. Yeah, I was a brunette here in this photo. Anyways,
You look good.
Well,
thanks. Thanks.
Seth's a brunette as well. It's just hard to tell.
You can tell in the eyebrows. I'm thinking about like the ROI on the Tiffany's glasses isn't the price, because that's the easy, like, oh well, that's expensive, that's a commitment. But like, yeah, the fact that if you were one of those couples, you're gonna put those in a special place, and they're gonna maybe be passed down to like your kids someday, and like, I mean, just it's going to pay back with exponentially. And creating super fans and creating legendary service. That's a Chris Lockhead. There you go. He's always talking legendary, right? Well, you need to be legendary. But like I think about, so my time at Starbucks, there was an amount of, we were expected to go like the perfect cup every time. Was a phrase that we used a lot, or creating a moment with a customer. But where I saw this like break down is that we didn't spend a lot of time. It was kind of up to the individual. Like it was said at a high level, and then it wasn't followed up with the individual. It was expected of the individual to just like figure out what that meant, and it became inconsistent. And so this like bar was set in Starbucks's PR and advertising and the poster on the wall, the perfect cup every time. That's unreasonable. But like that promise was above the Starbucks barista who's just trying to get through their day. Like there wasn't a lot of, there's a word that I'm dancing around because it's not hitting me, but like maybe it's empowerment or entrustment is a value at our organization at One Hope, entrustment. But I think about the Ritz Carlton has this famous story of how they empower. I don't know how exactly, and I can't remember the amount. Is it 2,000? For whatever reason,
Mhm.
$2,000 is in my head,
Yeah.
which is like sounds insane. Which I'm like, that's very unreasonable. But basically, if any customer has a problem that you can solve quickly, I don't even know if quickly is fair, but if you can solve it for less than $2,000, just do it. Like it's
Mhm.
yours to spend. And I love that. That's unreasonable. It even sounds unreasonable coming in my mouth. Like surely someone's going to fact check this and be like, no, it's $500. Still unreasonable, $500. But I think it was more than that. I don't know. I feel like I'm meandering all over the place today, but
No, I think you're nailing it.
yeah,
It's so true. How do you push that? It's one thing to put something in an employee handbook or above the espresso machine at Starbucks. It's another thing to invest, and that's part of the price is investing in empowering your team all the way down the org chart to be able to live out what unreasonable actually looks like, making it
yeah,
tangible. So,
that's
I
where I
think
was headed.
what we're talking about is building a culture around that where
Mhm.
you are
Yes.
celebrating unreasonable hospitality, you are resourcing it, making the lines clear for your team to understand like what's within bounds, what's out of bounds. And really, I think on the whole, setting an expectation like that this is what we are going to be about. And I think
Mhm.
that's something that it it sounds nice. You can read a book like Unreasonable Hospitality and be like, "Oh, I wish my company was like that." But for people that are in leadership positions, it's like it's on you to figure out how do you make that a reality within your company. And it takes some commitment. And I think that's why so many people fail or fall short is because they're unwilling to really kind of hang it out there and say, this is an example of how far we're willing to go and then back that up. But
100%.
that's really where the cultural element starts to come into play in my mind.
So true. Well, Nick, thanks for joining us today. This is a fun conversation. And man, I could talk about this topic all day because it is so critical. And we gave you a shout out for PFL.com a couple of episodes ago because of like
Oh, yeah?
creating experiences. So you've been a part of that over your career. All right, everybody. Well, go to SethSaidWhat.com where we would love for you to join in the discussion. A fun question today would be what is a company or an organization that you've interacted with where you felt like you received unreasonable hospitality or unreasonable service? Would love to hear that. Drop it in the discussion. Grand Dude still wins the award for the most comments on our SethSaidWhat.com. So the
Come
challenge
on,
is out.
listeners, you can't let Grand Dude win. That he's just gonna like, you got to get in there. Leave more comments than Grand Dude.
And granted is JWH on Substack in case, you wanted to know that. Okay. Well, anyway, this is a production of the Ready Network. We're so grateful for you guys listening, and we will see you next time. Thanks, Nick.